Good morning and welcome everyone to Saturday Flow with me, Nicole. I'm really glad you're here. And today's class is going to be on the theme of Ahimsa, which, if you know about yoga at all, you'll know that that's the first of the social restraints that we practice. And it is nonviolence. And today we're going to actually focus on the idea of tolerating that which we don't like. So you might experience that today physically in the practice through poses that might make you a little uncomfortable or challenge you, or maybe just are, on the flip side, simpler than you're used to, and so they ask you to slow down. And so you might experience those things physically, and we'll just see what comes up mentally during the practice and emotionally, and just see that we can be present for it all. So let's get started today. You might need 2 blocks and possibly a strap as well. So go ahead and grab those. If you haven't already, get your mat, and we'll get started in child's pose. Make your way there as you're ready. Alright. So, coming into child's pose, allow your big toes to come together. Sit back onto the heels, let your knees be a little bit wide, and start to crawl yourself out onto your mat. You can just crawl out to the point where you can lay the belly on the thighs, rest the forehead on the floor. To modify, if you have sensitive knees and you can't really sit on the heels, you can take a folded up blanket and place it between your knees. You can also take a block out in front for your forehead to rest on. So find a place that feels right for you this morning. And take this time to really arrive this morning. Saturday, the week is behind you, whether you've been out and about working or stuck at home. You're here now. And so, see if you can be fully here. Shift away from the external distractions and allow yourself to begin to relax. Feel the body begin to soften as we shift from all of the mental fluctuations happening to really the sensations that you're feeling in this moment. And whatever is happening now in the body, can you just take note with a sort of inventory. Now take that same attention and shift it to the breath. Without making anything happen, can you just be aware of the inhale and the exhale? Feel the natural rhythm of your breath moving in and out all on its own. Notice how this takes no effort on your part. And so it's a wonderful place to always return to. Anytime you need a little break throughout the practice, you can come back to this child's pose and back to your breath, just watching. But if you could now, just start to deepen the breath, allowing the inhales to fully expand your whole body, and allowing the exhales to slowly push everything out, feeling that contraction as the belly button moves back. So inhale, we allow the expansion. Exhale, we let it all go. Keep that going. Inhaling full breath. Exhaling full release. If you are still breathing through the mouth at all, see if you can just seal the lips lightly and take the breath in and out through the nose. Starting to make the exhales a little bit sharper, stronger and sharper. So whatever we move into today, see if you can allow the breath to be the initiator, so that you're following the breath and the movement, and that'll help us to maintain that nonviolence toward ourselves. So we're not pushing or grasping, but we're listening and honoring. From your child's pose now, you can start to move a little bit. Maybe rock your hips side to side on your heels. Maybe bend your elbows a little bit. Now inhale, roll yourself up to hands and knees. And exhale, just find a neutral place in the spine. Press into the hands. Again, take an inhale here, lengthen from the crown of the head to the tailbone. And on your exhale, press into your hands even more. Round your upper back, tuck your tail, tuck your chin. Inhale, hammock the belly, drop in, heart reaching forward, tail reaching up. And exhale, push into the hands, angry cat. Inhale, hammock the belly. Do that a few more times, moving at the rhythm of your breath. Follow each inhale all the way to the fullness. And follow each exhale all the way to the emptiest point. A couple more. Inhale, come to neutral. Exhale, bringing your knees a little closer together and your big toes to touch. Sit back onto your heels for hero's pose. And take your shoulders, fingertips to your shoulders, thumbs behind. Inhale, circle the shoulders around, exhaling down. Inhaling, exhaling. Try to keep your tailbone anchored between your heels so you're not tilting it back or tucking it under. Lengthening through the spine. Now switch the directions of the circles. And bring the arms parallel to the floor and inhale, stretch the fingertips out. Look up. Full breath in and full breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, bring the hands to your heart center. Inhaling here. Exhale, come back to the hands and the knees. Take the tail side to side. Again, initiating with the breath. Look back at the toes. Maybe even move the feet along. Coming back to center. Sit back toward the heels. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, roll forward now, rounding the upper back. Exhale, look forward, bend the elbows, chaturanga on the knees. Inhaling up and exhaling back to child's pose. Let's do that a few more times. Inhaling, rolling up. Exhale, look out, bend the elbows. Inhaling up, exhaling back. 2 more times. When you get back to child's pose, pause for the exhale. Inhale, roll up to heroes. Take the arms up with the full breath in. And on the exhale, side bend to your right. Bringing the right hand down, stretch through the left fingertips. Inhaling center. And exhaling left. Inhaling center. Exhaling to the right. Inhaling center. Exhaling left. Inhale, reach up. See how tall you can get. Interlace your fingers, except the thumb and the index finger. Let your shoulder blades draw down the back. Soften the front ribs in. And get as tall as you can. Last big breath. And exhale, bring the hands through heart center. Come back to hands and knees, tabletop position. As you inhale now, reach the right leg behind you. Look out as you would reach the heart up. Exhale, knee to nose. So we're going to do this a few times pretty quickly. As you're ready, inhale out. Exhale. Last 5. Inhale out. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. And step the foot up between the hands. And slide the back leg back by tucking the back toes and then sliding the knee back as much as feels good. Release the top to the top of the foot. Just pause here, dragon pose. Low lunge. Breathe. Breathe all the way down into the bottom of your belly. Breathe all the way into your back toes. And then let go completely of that breath, emptying everything out. Take another inhale. And on your exhale, start to shift the hips back, finding a half split, but keep the toes down. The leg doesn't have to be straight, and you could be using your blocks here to give you a little bit more support. So if you have your blocks here, you can bring the floor up to you as well. Give yourself a couple breaths. And notice if you're tensing up in the shoulders or the neck, because this is a challenging pose, even for advanced practitioners. Right? Depends on how many days it's been since you practiced it. Now inhale, come halfway up. Lift the toes back toward you. On your next exhale, fold over. And notice if that right hip is wanting to move out and forward, and just draw it back in line with the left hip. Take another breath in and out. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come forward, bending the knee again, and exhale, back to hands and knees. Let's take that other side with the leg kick. So as you're ready, inhale, left leg reaches out. Look up, reach heart forward, exhale, pull it all in. And start taking that with the breath. Last 5. Inhaling out, push into the floor, exhale, knee to nose, and step the foot between. Using your blocks underneath your hands if you like, tuck your back toes, and scoot that back leg back, back, back. Find a place that works for you. So you really want to be feeling this along the front of the right hip flexors. And stabilizing with that front foot, pressing firmly, evenly. The shoulders. Soften your jaw, your eyes, your tongue. Take another inhale and exhale. And now inhale, press back, leaving the toes down for this first one. Inhaling, finding a nice long spine, and exhaling, folding over just to the amount that feels right this morning. You might be already feeling like, I don't like this, and that's okay. Can you be with it anyway? On your next inhale, pull the toes back towards you as you come halfway up. Draw the left hip back in line with the right, and then exhale, fold over that leg again. Take another inhale and exhale. And now inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, bend back into the front leg. Slide it out of there, hands and knees. And just take a child's pose for one inhale, one exhale. And then as you're ready, go ahead and come on up to hands and knees again. And this time, either walk the hands forward so that you come into a modified plank pose on the knees, or take full plank by taking the legs straight back. Stack the toes, or the heels over the toes. Stack your shoulders over your elbows and your elbows over your wrists. Now press the floor away. Tailbone is kind of reaching for the heels. Belly button pulling in. Look forward. Tuck the chin slightly. And just breathe here. If it becomes too much, remember the knees are there. It's okay to be a little uncomfortable. Another inhale. And on your exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Drop the head. Maybe shake the head yes and no a few times. Maybe pedal out the feet. Inhale, rise up onto your toes. And exhale. Take the heels to the right, bend your knees and have a little squat. Keep that left arm pressing firmly into the mat. Inhale to the toes. And exhale, pivot to the left, bend the knees. Inhale, center. And exhale, let the heels come down. Hug the outer arms in so that the shoulders roll away from the ears and move down away from the ears. Big inhale here as you press into the floor. Let the heart move back toward the thighs. And exhale. Now inhale, rise to the toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look to your hands, and then just take your feet stepping to the front of your mat. You can have the feet hip distance apart. Grab onto your opposite elbows if you like, or keep the fingertips on the floor or on blocks. Let's see if you can allow the head and neck to fully release. And even though you're folded forward, allow the breath to be as full as you can on the inhale and as empty as you can on the exhale. Connect with the feet here and feel the firmness and the solidness of the earth beneath your feet and the support. And now slide the hands up to the shins on your next inhale. Come halfway up, pressing the shins away, reaching the crown forward, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, let the belly expand. Exhale, draw in. Again, inhale. This time on your exhale, fold back in, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, take the hands to the waist, rise all the way to stand. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Take the arms down by your sides. Pressing into the feet. Take the thighs back and then tuck the tail slightly down. And from that solid grounding of your legs, rise up to the crown of your head. Inhale, take the arms up overhead, look up toward the thumbs. Exhale, through prayer as you fold into your legs, forward fold. Inhale, glancing out toward the front, halfway lift. And exhale, step one foot back, and then the next plank pose, top of push-up. Inhaling here, look out. Use your knees or not. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, find a nice baby cobra. Lifting through the upper back, anchoring through the legs. Exhale, rolling it down. Again, inhale, cobra. Just feeling out how the back wants to move today. Warming up gently. Inhaling, coming up, and exhaling, coming down. One more time. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, just push right back. Find your hands and your knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, sink in. Inhale, find space. Exhale, release. One more breath, inhale. And exhale. Now inhale, tiptoes. Exhale, bend your knees, look to your hands. Step your feet or hop your feet to the front. Inhale, lengthen halfway, look out. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise all the way to the sky. Reach up and lengthen. Exhale to the hands, to the heart. Release. Inhale, go again, reaching up. Salute to the sun. Exhale, fold in, bowing. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back, plank pose. Inhale, strong plank. Exhale, vinyasa, lowering to the ground or lowering halfway. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, tiptoes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, one more time. Reach up, maybe back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank or take a little hop back to chaturanga. Inhale, find your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe from your center. Allow the weight to be even between hands and feet. Now inhale, tiptoes. Exhale, bend your knees, look to your hands. Step or hop. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chair pose again. Reach up. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, dive in. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back or hop back. Take a vinyasa or skip it and find downward facing dog. When you get to downward facing dog, lift the right leg as you inhale. And just notice it may not go very high, and that's all right. Inhaling. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose, step the foot between. Let's come into crescent pose. You're welcome to put the back knee down. Otherwise, come all the way up. And stay with it. Sink the hips down. You might even need to have a little bend in the back knee. Bring the hands and interlace them behind your back. Breathe in as you open the heart. Then exhale, take the hands down, step back. Take a vinyasa or downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. And just feel what it feels like to take the legs apart in this direction without opening that left hip. So the hips are square. Hug the outer arms in even more. Inhale. And exhale, step the foot up between the hands. Sink the hips, stabilize through the feet, and rise up tall. Extend the spine. Open the heart, breathe in. And now exhale, take the hands, interlace them the weird way behind your back. Just right at your sacrum with your fists, and then squeeze the elbows together. Sink the hips low. Rise up through the anchored pelvis. The anchored legs. Inhale. Exhale, take the hands down, step back. Vinyasa or downward facing dog. And then you get to down dog. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Now inhale, lift up to the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose again. Bend the knees, take the arms up, sit back. Exhale, stand up, bring the hands heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chair pose again. Sit low. Take a breath in. And exhale, stand up. Touch the hands. Namaste hands. Inhale, reach up. Maybe back bend. Exhale, dive in. Halfway lift. And exhale, take it through vinyasa or downward facing dog. And then your downward facing dog right away. Inhale the leg up, right leg. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise up, crescent. Exhale, take the chest on the thigh, take the arms like wings. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, take the hands down, straighten the front leg, lift the toes. Keep the hips even with each other. Inhale, look out toward the toes. Exhale, fold in toward the leg. Inhale, looking out. And exhale, bend back into the lunge. Plant the palms, inhale. Exhale, step back. Take a vinyasa or push back, downward facing dog. And downward dog, inhale the left leg up. Keeping the hips square with one another. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Sink the hips, inhale, crescent. Lift up. Exhale, chest on thigh, arms like wings. Inhaling up. And exhaling. Take the hands down. Step back. Vinyasa. Downward facing. Breathe in and out. Stand firmly in your feet. Press your thighs back. Those hamstrings are warming up. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Release the knees for a moment. Come back to your hero's pose. Sitting on the heels. Bring the hands heart center. Let the tailbone get heavy. Close your eyes. Just feel your heart beating against your thumbs. Feel your breath. Breathing you at this point. And if you're ready to move on, come on back to downward facing dog. Get a little bit more heat building. From your downward facing dog now, inhale the right leg up. And exhale, step it through between your hands. So finding that same lunge, but this time go ahead and put your back knee down. Release the top of the foot to the floor. And then you're going to come up from here. So you're either going to come up to just the regular with the knee down, or you're going to start to work to lift that back leg, but stay, blocks in the way, stay on the top of your foot. This is really one that you may not like, but we'll just see what happens, right? So keep that back leg lifting and strong. It's just a couple more breaths. Keep the spine lengthening and keep the shoulders relaxing. Big inhale, exhale. Take the hands down, take the knee down. And maybe a little bit of a tricky transition, but we're going to go into standing split. So tuck the back toes, lift the back knee now, and then lift the left legs in the sky. And from here, we're going to do a few lower end lifts. So inhale as you stretch the toes away from you, and exhale as you lower them toward the ground, but don't touch the toes. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Doesn't matter how high the leg gets. And down. Take one more. And down. And this time, inhale up and hold. And maybe try for a little balance, taking one hand away. Maybe taking the arm up in a way that feels beautiful to you. Or maybe both arms start to reach up. Take another inhale and exhale. Hands down. Slowly step back to the lunge. Spin the back foot flat. And windmill all the way up to stand with the legs straight. Like a triangle stance here. Take the back hand to the back thigh. Turn the right palm up and reach back. Reverse triangle. Just creating a beautiful line in your body. Stretching the side body. Inhaling. And then exhaling, bending into warrior two. Look over the right middle fingers. Roll the elbow pits up toward the ceiling. Stretch through the fingertips. Big inhale as you stretch across the chest. Widen the collarbones. Inhale, take the arms up. Turn both toes slightly out. And take the hands heart center as you come into goddess pose. Maybe your body wants to just kind of sink into it slowly, going side to side. And maybe you want to take a few up and downs to work into it. Just go with the breath. So inhaling, exhaling. Couple more. And sink into your stillness in goddess pose. And if you want to challenge yourself, take the fingertips down to the floor. And now lift up onto the toes. What might be coming up here? Can you be with it? One more inhale. Exhale, let the heels come down. Inhale, come up. And exhale. Let's go ahead and take that on the other side. Coming down to find your lunge here. Place the back knee down. Release the toes. And either come up with the knee down, or start to press into that top of the back foot and lift the back knee. See if you can keep lengthening out of that with your spine, lifting through the heart. And just smile to yourself because you know that nothing lasts forever. Or maybe you know that this is not for you and it would be violent toward yourself to stay. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, release down. And tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and as you're ready, lift that right leg up, standing split, also known as bend over and lift your leg. That's perfect. As you're ready, take those lowering lifts, exhaling as you come down, inhaling up. One more, lift up and hold. And maybe balance. It's just 3 breaths. And release the hands back down. Took the balance. And exhale, step back to the lunge, spin the back foot flat. Line up, heel to arch. And windmill all the way up with straight legs. Settle in, exhale, stabilize. Drop the back hand to the right thigh, turn the left palm up. Reverse triangle. Stabilize through the legs, but see if you can make both sides of the waist long. Big inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Stretching through the fingers. Sometimes that back arm has a tendency to drop way down or back. So just take a little look at it and make it even with the other. And a little deeper, take another inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come up, straighten the leg, turn both toes out. And exhale. And that goddess pose. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Now sink into your goddess this time. This time, maybe just stay straight up. Maybe take Chin Mudra. Sink the hips down, rise up from the spine. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take a vinyasa, taking the hands down. Step back, plank pose. Lower down. Inhale to open up everything. Front body. Exhale. Downward facing dog. And this is a nice moment for child's pose or a little drink of water. It's a chance to check back in with the breath. Great. All right. Love to give a little longer break, but we just don't have the time. So go ahead and grab your block. You might need the block. Come on up to standing on your knees. And we will use the block. Let's put the block right between the feet and ankles. Okay? You're going to hug the block with your ankles. So take a little camel pose here. One of the biggest things in camel is you don't want your butt to be sticking back, okay? You want your tailbone to be moving down toward the heels. And you want to be squeezing gently with your inner thighs and your ankles. So there's this little squeeze toward the center as the tailbone drops. Okay? And we'll take the hands right to the low back. And like we practiced with our crescent, squeeze your elbows in toward each other. Inhale here as you squeeze the elbows toward each other. And as you exhale, gently just with your hands, guide your tailbone down toward the back of your knees. Now lift up through your heart as you inhale. And as you exhale, push the hips forward. Keep that little squeeze happening. Inhaling up. Exhaling forward. The chin can be slightly tucked. If you get more flexible as time goes on, eventually it might drop back. One more breath. And come back up. Exhale. Sit back to the heels for a moment. On that block, just rest. In between, grab your strap. If you don't have a strap, you can always use a belt or a scarf. Anything like that will work. So I'm going to take the strap, and you're going to bring it just about the width of your shoulders. The strap is extremely long. There we go, just about a little bit wider than your shoulders, kind of like a down dog arm grip. When you find that, you're going to inhale the arms up, and exhale, you're bringing the right arm behind your head, bending the elbow, and then with the left arm, you're drawing it back. So you need to make my strap a tiny bit shorter. So you might have to just adjust in order to feel this right. So you're bringing it up, and then back behind your head, drawing an arrow. Inhale into the center and exhale to switch sides. So you can keep that going. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale into the center. Exhale, draw it back. And all the while, see if you can allow your front ribs not to be poking out, right? So you've got that, you're maintaining the alignment and the integrity of the spine. Anchoring through the sit bones and the pelvis and the tailbone, your root. A couple more times. And now inhale, come back to center. And take the strap a little bit wider. Exhale, take the arms down. Keep tension there, so like you're pulling the strap apart. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale up. Be really careful here. Go slow. And again, you might need to adjust. And some of you, this just might not be accessible today. That's okay. A couple more. Good. Release the strap. Set that aside. One more camel pose. You can use the block or not. So maybe let's try the block right between the thighs. All right, this time you have the option of maybe tucking the toes under here. This is a great way to stabilize, and good if you want to try going a little further by placing one hand on the heel or both. So we'll start with the hands on the low back again. Squeeze that block. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, push the hips forward. Keep lifting up. And then keep moving the hips forward. And eventually you might be able to reach a hand back. Maybe one hand reaches up. Squeezing the block. And maybe both hands come back. And maybe the head too. Wherever you decide to end up, just stay and breathe. Come up. Slowly remove one hand to the low back. Then the other. Tuck the chin. And come up slowly. Release the block. And again, sit back. Into the heels. Pause. Bow your head. Notice the openness in your heart. And what that feels like. The opposite of violence. Talk a lot about nonviolence toward others, but not often about what that looks like when applied toward ourselves. Something to meditate on. Right, coming to your hands and your knees, we're moving into our peak pose as we wind things down. The pose, Hanumanasana, the monkey god pose, otherwise known as splits. Okay, and then we have our blocks, so we're going to use those when we may need them. Go ahead and come into one leg forward and lunge. Okay, and same like we did in the beginning, slide the back leg way back, as far back as you can. Take the blocks up by your foot, in line with your foot. And then just like we did before, start to shift the hips back and wiggle that front hip or that front foot forward, forward, forward. Have the blocks so you can have your weight on the blocks. Forward, forward, forward with the foot. Okay? Now, lift the heel. And if this is still feeling like enough of a stretch, then you're just going to stay here. But if you need to a little bit more, you want to move deeper into the splits, keep moving that foot forward. Okay? And when you feel like it can't go forward anymore, you can use your block under your right hip to sit on. Okay? You can wedge it underneath you. Otherwise, you can use the blocks under your hands to help you lower to a place that feels good for you. Okay, so many different places you can be in. All of them are perfect. All of them are exactly where you should be. This is kind of one of those poses that asks us to be uncomfortable. Maybe not for everyone, but for most of us. But as you can see, it is like a flying leap. And that's how we feel a lot of times when we're asked, or the universe puts us in situations that are uncomfortable. It's like, why are you making me do this? I have to take such a leap of faith to think that this is going to be beneficial for me. But oftentimes, if we can just allow, just be with whatever is happening, we can look back and understand why. All right, to come out, you come out very intentionally and slowly. If you have your blocks underneath your hands, push into the blocks so you can lift away from the floor, slide that front leg back. It's like you're coming out of it just the same way you went in. Slide it slowly out. And give yourself a moment to release by sitting back to the heels. Rest the forehead. Full breath in, full breath out. And then as you're ready, switch sides. Moving up. The left leg will come forward now. Just starting in the lunge, get the back leg moving back as far as you can. And then start to shift into that half split, drawing the left hip back. Maybe just finding this half split stretch again. Or maybe moving that left leg forward as you can slide into the full Hanumanasana. And then just notice wherever you are, if you're asking your body to do something that is not right for it. And also, what's happening in the mind here as we move into a pose that is quite challenging? Is your mind telling you that you need to be doing this pose? That you're not doing it right? Put a check on those thoughts. Remind yourself that you are exactly where you need to be. That being able to be in the splits is not the goal. The goal is the awareness. Be with yourself. Take a couple deep breaths here. And when you're ready to come out, slowly, slowly push away from the floor. And sit back to child's pose. Moving into our last relaxation poses here. Find your way to right side pigeon pose. Bringing the right knee forward, sliding that back leg back. It's not a long pigeon, so sink into it. Breathe in and out. And if you'd like to go for a little twist, take the left arm, thread it underneath the right, and bring the left shoulder, left cheek to the floor. And keep your breath flowing. You may have slowed down a bit, but be intentional about the breath moving deeply, freely, smoothly. And then slowly come on out. Tuck the back toes so that you can slide out of that, possibly taking the leg up and open, bending the knee. Switching sides, left knee forward, slide the right leg back. Take the twist if you like, right arm threads under left. Pressing into the left hand, unthread, and out slowly. Bring the right leg around now. To the front, both legs out in the front. Keep the legs shaped. Take a breath in. Reach up with the toes, reach up with the hands. Exhale, fold forward. One more breath in and out. Inhale, come up. Reach up and exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Any last little movements you need here before we find ourselves in Shavasana, go ahead and take them. Rock a little side to side, circle the knees. Gentle twist if you need. And then release everything. Let the feet flop open, the arms rest, with the palms up, and the fingers curling in. So you can allow your whole body now to start to melt into the mat. And at this point, you can let go of all your effort. The effort of the body, the effort of the breath. Allow yourself to rest completely, receiving your own energy. fingers, your toes, waking yourself up gently. Take a nice big stretch. Eventually rolling over onto your right side, pausing there. And pushing yourself up to seated when you're ready. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you feel good. I hope that you have given yourself some compassion and that you have stretched yourself in ways that were a little uncomfortable today as well. Thanks for joining. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Namaste. Be sure to join me next week. Looking forward to seeing you then.